Okay. Okay. Oh, someone else is here. Oh, it's Mark.
Oh. Why?
I don't know, but I love it. Hi, Mark. Welcome to the party while your audio connects.
His internet's probably not gonna work very good because he's at work.
You're at work, but you want to be a part of this?
I did.
I love it.
We can't see you. Do you not want your video on?
Well, I'm going to be driving around. We got a stolen vehicle we're looking for.
Oh.
So I'm going to listen in the background.
I love it.
We got a stolen vehicle and a porch fire.
All right, awesome. All right, so for people, well, I think everyone who's going to watch this back is in our group anyways and knows us, but I'm Patty and I am Amy's coach, and I've been a Beachbody coach for, it'll be 4 years in August. Well, it'll been 4 years since I've done Beachbody, and I started coaching slightly after that. Amy, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi guys, I'm Amy. I've been a coach for almost a year. Well, I mean, I guess technically a year now. But I've been doing Beachbody for like 6 years. So I love it.
We're old timers. We've been around a while.
We're DVDers.
Yes. All right. Let me share my screen and remember how I was going to do this. Okay. Share. There's always so much technical. I bet I have to log back in.
Probably.
All right. I wish this thing could get out of the way sometimes. Maybe not. We might be, but I gotta show how do I move this thing? Does it move? Nope. All right, we're new here. You think I've been teaching on this for a while. Okay, so Amy and I wanted to go through and just kind of give people the little bit of a lowdown on the nutrition programs that are available through Beachbody that you have paid for and earned if you have the Beachbody on demand, and I think you have to have a challenge pack in order to have them initially. So maybe not, maybe you just have to have the yearly subscription. I know you don't get it when you do like a 2-week trial. So let me take it from home. I'll just start over. Otherwise I'm gonna stop messaging me. Okay, you can't see those. So you don't want to go to Team Beachbody. You want to go to Beachbody on Demand where your workouts are. So even though the nutrition are not workouts, I always forget that they're on like the Beachbody on Demand part. And we thought we would kind of just show you where some of the main important stuff is. Where's my little list? And kind of talk through some suggestions, whatever. We know some people will play this back and try to get some more info. All right, remind me, Amy, how did I do this? Oh, I went to programs, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you're gonna go to programs. And again, it always feels a little off to me because I always think the programs are just the fitness programs, but the nutrition programs are in here. If you scroll down, you'll get to Nutrition Center. And there's 2 main programs that Beachbody uses and that are included, and those are the Ultimate Portion Fix and 2B Mindset. Lindsay, do you use either of these? Oh, I just clicked on
I muted myself, sorry.
No, you're okay.
Not technically, no.
Okay, that's okay. I only asked not to put you on the spot, but because Amy and I were, what is my computer doing? We were going to focus more on the Ultimate Portion Fix because that's what we both have used longer.
Back to programs. There you go.
Yeah, that's the one I more try to follow without,
Perfect. So Amy might sneak in some things that she knows about 2B Mindset as well. And I do think ultimately it's a good place to kind of get to, or to at least blend the two. But I think for beginners, in terms of trying to find some type of nutrition plan to follow, the Ultimate Portion Fix is a little bit easier. At least in my opinion, it was. So once you click on Ultimate Portion Fix, if you go to program material, so first off, you can see there's like all these videos, and Amy, you interject whenever you want. So lessons, as a teacher, I love it, but there's a lot of videos in here. So if you need someone to explain it to you as opposed to just reading it, it's great, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a little lengthy and there's a lot to it. But there are videos that will kind of go a little bit deeper than what we're gonna show you if you want or need more information. But Amy was a genius, and she told me instead of going through the lessons and showing you which lesson to watch, she showed me just to go to the program materials, and you can open up the workbook, which you can purchase this workbook if you want it in hard copy. I think it's like $10 or something. It's very expensive. But I thought we would kind of go through what the most important little pieces are in this and make note of where you kind of want to start. That makes sense, Amy? How am I doing?
You're good.
All right. So the first thing we said is we wanted to talk about what the 3 paths were, which should be on page 23. So the first intro videos, if you are interested, they're all about like setting your goals and what's your why and kind of get your mindset in the right place, which is awesome, obviously. But we want to focus more on just like, how do I get started? I just want to start using this and see what it's all about. So the first spot is we want to just mention that there's 3 paths that you can choose from. The fundamental fixed, then there's time nutrition and carb cycling. And both of us kind of feel like if you're new to starting and you've never used this program before, you probably want to start with this fundamental fix, which is just like the basics of the program. If you get to a point where you want to level it up, there is a lot of information and research that Autumn has done that shows what you eat and when you eat it can affect your results. So she came up with this time nutrition program that tells you specifically like to eat these containers at this time in terms of before your workout, after your workout, etc. And then there's a carb cycling, which she will say it is what she would consider a diet, which we don't normally say to follow a diet. It's more just a healthy lifestyle. But there are sometimes special events in your life, a wedding, I don't know, a birthday, something that you might want to vacation, work extra hard for. And so this is like a 3-week intense kind of approach to nutrition. And mostly it limits carbs a bit more and has things like that. But she says right in here, like, don't do it for more than 3 weeks. And you shouldn't do it with a 3-month break. Yeah. And you should only do it like once every 3 months if you want to do it. So we're going to focus on just the regular fundamental fix. All right, Amy, I'm going to let you talk about this. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Finding your calorie bracket.
All right. So where are we? Okay. So it's pretty easy. There's like a couple different ways to pretty much find out where you are. I know you're going to take your weight and I think you multiply it by 11 to get your baseline. There's like one to do it. If you're not working out, you just want to strictly, just lose weight without working out. Sometimes people don't like to do it, and that's fine. You can definitely see results without working out, as you've always heard. Like all this starts in the kitchen, really.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple different calculators. You'll just have to kind of look out and see. There's one that's moderately challenging, and that's typically the one that you're going to use. You'll only use extremely challenging if your workouts are like over an hour and they're pretty intense. But typically, if you're doing any Beachbody program, they're going to be in the moderately challenging category. So it pretty much talks about at your current weight times 11, you get your baseline. And then you take your baseline and you add 400 for your maintenance calories, and then subtract your maintenance calories by 750 to get your calorie target. And they do, it is usually a range. So you're not like, oh, I can only have 1200 calories.
Wait, you muted. Hang on. There you go.
Sorry. It's like, 1200 to like, I think 1400 or something like that. Cause it's going to vary depending on, what containers you use and what you put in those containers. And then let's see. You can keep.
Yeah, so this is maintenance. So if you don't want to lose weight and you're just trying to maintain your weight and maybe like focus more on building muscle or toning, Amy and I were both saying we both typically at this point do maintenance. So we just do the plus 400, but then if you're trying to lose weight, then you take that number and subtract 750. So you're basically adding 400 to your baseline because you're working out, right? Because I think you don't do that in the other one.
Right. Yeah. No, because you're not burning calories with exercise. So you want to add in those calories. Let's see.
And then this is just the calculator if you're doing extremely challenging.
So some people do like the hybrids. The hybrids, I feel like those are usually over an hour, pretty intense. You might want to recalculate if you are doing those. I think they give them to you. So like the P90X series, those are usually an hour. Insanity. Yeah. So they pretty much, they'll tell you which ones.
You're right. They're right here.
Yeah. So that one you're pretty much just adding, 600 to get to your maintenance. And you can always, we'll show you your calorie bracket and go get a banana. A lot of times when you find your calorie bracket, so typically I'm in portion A, meal plan A, but because I'm in maintenance, I just moved up a plan. I didn't really need to recalculate. I just knew that that's kind of where I was going to be. And then if I wanted to be in a surplus, I would go to plan C. So you kind of just move up depending on what you're doing. If you lose weight, I would say every 30 days or every time you finish a program, you should be recalculating because you're going to see change in your weight. So you might be dropping down a plan, especially if you want to keep losing. So that's always something to keep in mind.
I know how that goes. No one in my house likes bananas anymore but me. Yeah, so there are six plans based on what the numbers end up being. And like Amy said, even if you come out as portion A or plan A, Amy and I both are firm believers that do it for a week or 2 weeks. But if you're feeling hungry all the time, or you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I really feel like this is not enough food, then, your workouts might be more intense than you think they are, or you might just need a little bit more than you think. So don't be afraid to reach out to your coach and ask them, like, should I move up to the next plan, or maybe add an extra protein or an extra fruit? Both of us are firm believers that this is a guideline to get you started. It's not something that is written in stone. That's just not how nutrition works. So don't be afraid to reach out to either of us if you are feeling hungry or like whatever, and you aren't sure how to add a little bit to it. Because the last thing we want is for you to feel deprived, because then obviously at some point you're going to crack, and then you're going to probably not make the best decisions. So it's better just to add in some healthy choices, make you feel more full and get you through, than to feel like you're depriving yourself. What else? Okay, so what you can see from the list is it'll tell you how many of each color, and then the colors are broken down into vegetables, fruits, proteins, carbs, healthy fats, seeds and dressings, and then the oil and nut butter. So basically like a kind of like a second little healthy fat is what I think of this guy as. And so once you know how many of each of them get, then they give you food lists so that you can see examples of what foods fall in those containers. So the food lists are on page 53. And something I didn't know until probably I was on my 3rd or 4th BeachBody program, maybe more, it was 80-day session is when I learned that the lists are designed with what Autumn would consider the healthiest of those vegetables, or that container, I should say, at the top. And then, not that they're like a bad choice or whatever, but then as you get lower, they're probably going to be things that maybe have less nutrients and vitamins and whatever in them, or maybe more sugar or something like that. So obviously a pickle, yes, it's a vegetable, and it's delicious, but it's at the bottom of the list of the green vegetables because she's trying to encourage you, like, you probably shouldn't fill your green containers with pickles every day. So kale, which I absolutely despise, is the best up at the top. And then you can see spinach, etc. So that's how all of the lists will work. That the best choices are up towards the top. So when I like do my meal planning, I always try to make sure I got something up from the top for during the week or whatever. Like, okay, I'm gonna have spinach salads this week. But then I'm not gonna eat just those. So I think in the carb cycling, you're supposed to eat within the first group, or you can't have the ones with the stars or something. So there's those little things. That's what it is. Yeah, these are foods to avoid when you're carb cycling. So if you wanted less carbs in your diet or whatever, she shows you which ones would be the ones to avoid. So there's the veggie list, the fruit list. Yeah, and again, it's pretty obvious. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's obvious to me because I work with nutrition and think about it and know a lot about it, that like applesauce is towards the bottom of the list because it's not the same as eating an apple or some whole fruit when I have applesauce. It's still there and you can count it, and it's great for when, especially if you need something to throw in your lunch on the go or whatever. So nothing is restricted like that, but you want to think about trying to make sure you're including the choices towards the top of the list as much as possible. The reds are your proteins. I don't think, Lindsay, do you eat meat? Yeah, I like it. So I think most people in our group are probably carnivores, but there are vegan and vegetarian things that you can find through this workbook and through the videos if anybody needs that as well. What else, Amy? Do you want to say anything else about these lists?
What happened to my girl?
What are the X's? Oh, X's are the avoids. What are the pluses? I said it wrong.
Those are the ones she wants you to eat.
Oh, I was gonna say, why are we Xing out the broccoli on the veggie list?
Okay, those are pluses. Yeah, the X's are the one, like, so during carb cycling, you're not eating cheese.
Right.
So it's a
That's
little
why I don't do
bit
that.
harder. You're cutting things out because you're going to see results faster.
Right.
But that's why she says not to do it for more than 3 weeks, because it's not sustainable.
Yes.
I know you'll fail.
I struggle with this orange container so bad. If I'm not eating salad and I don't need actual, like, some type of salad dressing, I struggle with this one. I always say I'm going to buy like flax seeds or something to put in my shake so that I make sure that I get it in. But yeah, Autumn's very big on too that you eat all the containers that you're supposed to have pretty much no matter what. So if you really want to see results, she would say you don't skip an orange container. You somehow make it work into your day. Every single day you're supposed to have the orange container. So
Let me tell you a good one for the orange container.
yeah, tell me.
I never got orange containers in either. Grain-free granola.
Oh, that's an orange?
It's an orange because the grain-free has coconut, pumpkin, sunflower seeds. It has like all that good stuff in there, and you can use it as an orange container. Throw it on some yogurt with fruit. It's really good. Or on top of your shake.
That's awesome. I so did not think of that.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I know that is because I was like reading the ingredients. I'm like, oh, this is all orange container stuff. So
I'm gonna have to go look. Hi, Heather. I will definitely have to go look because I did just buy some grain-free granola, something that I saw at Walmart actually, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this and try it. So yes, Amy, what a good suggestion. All right. Heather, we're just going through some of the stuff online that's available. And we're recording it, so you can always play it back too. Hi. The nut butters, the teaspoon, the oil, those are all your lists. All right. Now, Miss Amy said it's really important we make sure we include this, which I love. What page is it on? 71. Freebies and substitutions. All right, Miss Amy, tell me how this works.
all right. Well, this one is just like, I mean, obviously, you know, spices, herbs, use those to, okay, Bobby, okay, just for a second. You can use those, they're free, use as much as you want. It's fine, I promise. It's fine. Okay, sorry.
You're totally fine. Mine will be up here in a hot minute. I know it.
Okay, so it's just like adding flavors to your food, any spices, things like that. Extracts, if you like to add them to your shakes to make them more flavorful. Let's see, carbonated water, I think goes on there, you know.
Yeah, do you want me to go to that page? Oh, here's.
I think it was on there. It was, but I mean, this just explains pretty much. Okay, then don't eat anymore. You're good. Okay, so coffee and tea in moderation. Obviously, I think anything is like more than 2 cups of coffee is, you know, good. You shouldn't really need it either if you're working out. You should, and if you have your macros kind of in a line, you should be feeling pretty good. If you're feeling like you need more caffeine during the day, you might want to like talk to your coach because there's probably something going on and something that you can food wise kind of substitute like during those times that you're feeling tired. So we can talk about that specifically. All right, I think we can.
Yeah, I want to know about these substitutions.
Okay, yeah, so the substitutions. All right, so this is where, you know, when you're like having a craving, really want some chips, pretzels, peanut butter pretzel nuggets. I didn't know are on here, but that makes me happy. So these kind of are just, you know, a substitution for like one of your containers. Let's see, wine and beer. We'll just talk about that because we know that that's probably what we want. So wine or a light beer is just save a yellow container for it. I know there's like chocolate chips on there. And then they also have, I think, some other recipes that she has in the Fixate cookbook. But pretty much if anything's a dessert, it's going to be a yellow. But also like in saying that if you're really trying to like lose the weight, obviously, you know, like take this in consideration, but also don't forget, like, you need to live your life as well. Having a glass of wine, you know, every so often is not going to undo what you've done. So, you know, have that wine, even if you're over in your containers, who cares? Like this is life. We're supposed to have fun as well. It's not supposed to be so strict, but you know, you just have to kind of weigh your options of that day. If I'm really trying to be really, really good, then I will, you know, use a yellow container for my wine. But most of the time I don't, because I don't drink enough for me to count it. So I just enjoy it on the days I want.
Right. So again, yeah. Amy and I are like, this is how it's laid out. And if you, that's why in the beginning, it's really about, you got to set your goals and be realistic with yourself. If you really have big goals that you're trying to get to in a shorter period of time, and you're like working towards something, like I definitely know I have people who are going to a wedding or in a wedding or whatever. So obviously, if that's your situation and you're trying to get in shape and you have a deadline and whatever, then you don't want to substitute your carbs for wine all the time. And when you do it, you do want to make sure you eat one less yellow container. However, the majority of us, I believe, are just trying to create a healthy lifestyle that we can maintain long term. We don't have this like one day in mind that we're trying to get to. And in those situations, I say, like Amy says, if you want a glass of wine and you already had your 2 carbs for the day, then you have your glass of wine, because it's not going to undo the hard work that you're doing. So, you have to kind of dig deeper within yourself and decide for you, do you have something that you want to reach this goal at this point in this time, and you want to do it to a T because that's the way you want to do it? Or are you happy with trying to just create good habits and, create that lifestyle that's a little bit more flexible and realistic, I guess. Okay, I think, yes. All right, Amy. So I think that's all we were going to do in the workbook. So again, this was, you guys can watch the video back if you need to. But it's really simple to find. You just have to go to Ultimate Portion Fix and then Program Materials, and you'll find that workbook. And then the other things we wanted to show you are where the recipes are, and then the blog. Does it matter which one we do first, Amy, do you think? No, you're muted. What do you do to yourself here?
Sorry, the kids were talking.
No, okay.
If you just go back to programs, because we're kind of already in it,
Okay.
then go to fixate. Because I mean, it's just self-explanatory.
Perfect. Okay. So if we go to programs and we go down to the nutrition center, so this is where we just were, Ultimate Portion Fix. And then this is the Fixate cookbook. If you're someone that loves the paper copy, you can purchase, there's 2 of them. Depending on which programs you might have signed up with. Like I have both of them because they came with stuff. But what's nice is here, they keep adding to it. Obviously, like right here, there's new stuff that's not in my book that I have printed. All right. So in the Fixate, it's a cooking show. That's Autumn and her brother. Her brother is a chef. But if you don't want to watch them, instead of clicking on it, if you click on the 3 dots, then you can see what the containers are right away. And then you can just click on the recipe itself. And that way you don't have to watch the show if you don't want. I usually watch like the first little bit, or sometimes if I'm like, oh, I don't know how to chop that very well, like something that's in it, I'll watch like a little snippet. But then obviously I like having the whole recipe just sitting right here for when I jump in to make something. How do I go back here? There we go. I'm like a baked breakfast squash. I never even would think of that. Amy's real fancy with her food. For those of you who don't know, she'll show you all her, but she's not fancy, but it looks fancy, which I love. So, what else, Amy, about the recipe area? Do you think that's it?
I think that was it. I know you can just search, like you can do this on your phone. You can just do a quick search.
Yeah, there's a search here. Oh,
yeah.
Wait, that's the main search. Okay,
No,
so
you can still search it. It will still come up.
Will it?
Yeah. And what I like to do is, like, if I'm on my phone and just doing a little meal planning, I'll take a screenshot. I'll be like, oh, that sounds good. I'll take a screenshot of the recipe. That way I can make my list and I know what I'm making for the week. It's just a little bit helpful.
Right.
Because or else I'll be like, I'll write all this stuff down and I'm like, I don't remember why I bought these ingredients.
Yeah, I do that too. I screenshot my recipes all the time. Like I don't even use my Pinterest account anymore to pin them. I just screenshot when I'm like thinking about it, and then it's the picture's there, and then I just go make the recipe from there. Hi, what's wrong? You good?
Hungry.
You're hungry. You just ate.
What?
You had a grilled cheese and fruit salad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was dinner. You can have more fruit salad.
Okay, where's the pizza?
It's in that giant container with the red lid in the refrigerator.
I
All right.
have it.
Did you unload the dishwasher?
No, I didn't.
Of course she didn't.
I didn't.
Okay, so tell me about this blog because I'm not that. There they are again, though.
So the blog just has like just a bunch of information. My favorite way to use the blog is for more recipes that are not on Fixate. They're not in To Be Mindset. It's just, I'm not sure who came up with them, but they do have them marked off for like at the bottom of the recipe. It will show you like To Be Mindset plating and then also like the containers. But you can search. We just found this one, which looks delicious. I'm really excited to make it. What one was this? The no bake
No bake,
pretzel bites.
no
Yum.
bake peanut butter pretzel bites.
Yeah.
So excited to make. That's gonna go down and show them where.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, right here. So
Okay.
your containers, it's half a yellow and 3 teaspoons
Yeah.
for probably one of them, 1 or 2 depending. And then this is if you're following the To Be Mindset. Enjoy as an occasional.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, hers is way more relaxed. If anyone does To Be Mindset, like that's kind of where, like as we're talking about it, like that's kind of where you should be heading. I feel like the containers get you kind of, you learn about nutrition, and then you can use To Be Mindset to kind of get you almost to like that intuitive eating, which I think is good. So start with, I always recommend my people to start with the containers first to learn, and then we'll move in. Once you feel like you know what you're supposed to eat daily, then I feel like you can kind of bring that into To Be Mindset and really just eat to feel really, just to feel good and to maintain. But also when you go to recipes, you can search by like protein, by like time of day, like breakfast, lunch, and it will right there on the very side. So it's kind of, they make it pretty easy. They have like all different types. It could be like a cocktail, it could literally be anything. But this is, I've tried a bunch of recipes from here and they are really good. So it's just-
I know, I'm so excited that you showed me this, that there were more recipes in here. And then as you can see, when we were in the other part, I know we're nutrition focused tonight, but there's plenty of other things in the blog that are just, you can never have too much information about different things to do. And for me, it always just sparks something like new for me to try or to think about. Because they'll send you an email too sometimes about like what's new on the blog, and it always just like sparks me to try something new or to do something different, whether it be fitness, or a lot of times I read a lot of the wellness ones. It'll be stuff about sleep habits and just all sorts of other areas that it all just goes together and works together to keep you feeling and looking your best, kind of thing. I think that's all I have, Amy.
Karen, you're late.
Hi, Karen. How do I unshare? Okay, here we go. I always do that. Where's that button?
You're muted.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Are you on
Sorry, I'm cooking. I just got home from grocery shopping.
fun?
You're gonna show us all how to meal prep?
I'm not meal prepping, but I'm making the 6-8 beef macaroni.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. I know, I wrote your name down as one of our things we're gonna post about. Karen meal planning versus Amy meal planning. That's what I wrote down. 2 different styles of meal planning.
Gotta find what works. Lifestyle is definitely a little busier than I am, so
Yeah.
I can be a little bit more lax with my meal planning.
Does anyone have any questions? Are you excited for this 30-day challenge? I'm gonna try something I've never done. I mean, maybe when I was like pre-15, which is I'm not gonna drink for these 30 days is my goal. I just wanna see if I can do it. We'll see what happens. But for no other reason, just to see if I have that type of willpower to say no to something that I don't really need in my life as much as I enjoy it. So it's gonna be-
Except for when you turn 40.
what's that?
Except for on your birthday.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually, yeah, it's true. I won't actually go all the way to my birthday. I will go to the weekend before my birthday because the celebrations start that weekend. So I guess it won't end up being a full 50 days
Close enough.
about it, but yeah.
You can take them out.
So we'll see what happens.
Does anyone have any questions about a group? I don't know if everyone's doing it, but
Oh, you play for.
the 30-day challenge.
If you don't know, Amy and I are taking over the boot camp and revamping it for 30 days. So you're all in it. If you're in the boot camp, you're in it.
Yeah. It's just if you want to participate or not.
We're hoping people will. We're gonna post every day for you to post your workout, post if you drink your shake,
For what?
and then we have different content for each day that we're gonna share in terms of creating
Lego table somewhere?
healthy habits, simple for your mind, your home. I'm so excited. Is that your brother-in-law back there?
Yeah.
It's a family affair. Where's your other sister?
What?
I think she's working. Or no, you know what? She might be at Noah's play.
Oh, I saw her post about that.
Yeah, it was really cute. Legally Blonde.
Yeah, did you go see it?
Yeah,
Oh, cute.
he was the creepy professor.
I've seen a high school production of it too. I'm trying to think who. Some niece or nephew. Mark, did you find the stolen car yet?
He's still there.
He's like, I'm out of the car.
Yeah, I don't know.
Heather, your husband Dave is Rochester City Police Department. Yeah, so Amy's husband Mark is Webster Police Department, and Karen, what is your department?
I'm a sergeant with Casanova Police.
Casanova, love it. So lots of police people tied into this little group. It's pretty fun. All right, friends. What do you think, Amy? Is that it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. So don't be alarmed when you wake up and like the group looks different, because Amy and I will be working tonight to like change pictures up and whatever, just to kind of give it a new look for the next 30 days, create some new fun interest, and hopefully get people excited. All right, friends, if you don't have any questions, I think that's it. All right, and I'll share the link at some point, probably in the group and in the event, so that way if you miss the beginning, you can get back on and watch it. And I want to see pictures of whatever you're making again, Karen, at the end. Post it in the group.
Okay.
All right, guys. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Bye, guys.
Bye.